Good morning at home. I'm Bill Hemmer. Major legal fight underway over these deportation flights to El Salvador as the administration tries to keep TDA, a violent Venezuelan prison gang and foreign terrorist organization, from evolving into a larger nationwide threat. But that effort is facing a lot of resistance in court. A federal judge setting a deadline for noon today, demanding more information about the flights after he issued an order to turn those planes around on Saturday.
Senior national correspondent William La Jeunesse has more on Tren de Aragua activities here in the U.S. and the dangerous threats they pose to our safety all across the country. Hi, William. Good morning.
Well, Dana and Bill, good morning. Yeah, from the president's perspective, this is about stopping a problem before it gets worse. But also, remember, detention facilities right now are nearly full. ICE doesn't want judges blocking deportations when it's holding 46,000 detainees, most in 6 years. Now, there's roughly 1 million Venezuelans in the U.S. Most arrived and were protected from deportation by President Biden, including members of Tren de Aragua. The gang started in and ultimately ran Venezuela's prison system in a deal with the Maduro government. The famed Tocarón prison had a casino, nightclub, restaurant, even tunnels to smuggle weapons. Now, inmate and now fugitive Hector Nino Guerrero led the gang by extorting inmates and bribing guards. He's now wanted with a $5 million bounty. Now, many TDA gangbangers joined the wave of Venezuelans migrating away from that country, first into neighboring places like Brazil and Colombia, where police wanted them for dozens of murders. And now a Homeland Security memo warns they've embedded themselves in at least 16 states, where officials say TDA chapters begin with petty theft, robbery, and fraud, sending money back to South America to recruit and bring new reinforcements into the U.S. They also exploit other migrants, holding victims for ransom, extorting businesses. Now, rap sheets on the 261 deported to El Salvador include kidnapping, sexual abuse of a child, aggravated assault, prostitution, robbery, and the assault of an officer in New York, terrorizing residents in Colorado apartments. In Tennessee and Virginia, they force migrants with outstanding smuggling debts into sex trafficking. Now, half those deported on the Friday flight left under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. The White House calls TDA a foreign terrorist organization.
These are heinous monsters, rapists, murderers, kidnappers, sexual assaulters, predators who have no right to be in this country, and they must be held accountable.
So CBP and the Border Patrol have a gang unit that focuses on the TDA, and if migrants are identified as gang members, they are referred for detention and removal. But because there's no information sharing with Venezuela, you guys, it makes it difficult. But again, this is about stopping the gang before it becomes embedded in our communities. Back to you.
All right, William La Jeunesse, thank you.
So let's bring in Bret Baier, anchor of Special Report. Bret, good morning to you, and welcome back here. I just want to quote this judge that did it last hour. He said, "My orders don't seem to carry much weight." And we'll see how much weight they do carry. I think in the bigger picture, we're already seeing, what, 60 days in, thereabouts? Much like the first term, President Trump is willing to go to battle with these judges, and he's willing to take on these courts, and he's willing to push it as far as he can. And I think this is a clear example of that now in Trump 2.0. I just want to start with that thought there. Go ahead.
100%. Good morning, Bill and Dana. I think that this is a battle that they feel like they can win. All the way up to the Supreme Court. First of all, and I know you talked about this with John Yoo and others, the specific order that it wasn't written in the district, in the D.C. district, that has been battled out before, that it had to be a written order, not a verbal order in court to turn the planes around. That's the specifics. But on the broader argument, their argument in the administration is that district judges cannot legislate from the bench. They cannot overturn in this separation of powers, and they believe they have a strong case, especially with the conservatives on the Supreme Court. Now, it is a battle, and you're seeing it time and time again with different judges weighing in on different things. This specific one may be fought on whether the order came down in writing or orally.
There's also the politics of it all. Listen to some Democrats slamming the administration on it.
I think most Americans believe that if you're in this country undocumented, illegally, and you commit a crime, you're on the next bus out. No, I don't think anybody argues with that. But what is critical there, of course, is due process, right?
We also can't go down this road that the Trump administration is taking us on and potentially deport American citizens.
Brett, it just feels to me like the administration, the Democrats, excuse me, not the administration, the Democrats are just trying to push this boulder uphill, and they're going to get crushed by it.
I think so. I mean, Secretary of State Rubio was on Guy Benson's radio show the other day, yesterday, and was saying, listen, we know for a fact that everyone on those planes is an illegal immigrant. We know for a fact that most of those people have been charged with specific crimes. If there was a mistake, it's not because they were not an illegal immigrant and they're not going out of the country. And so I think they have a very common sense defense. And the question is whether these judges continue to come with the orders that they're coming with. It is pretty unique, this battle.
Yeah. Brett, you've been touring Washington, D.C. And yesterday, your tour took you to the Housing and Urban Development. Now, this is HUD, okay? And I watched you open your show in a building that was falling apart. Here's
it's amazing.
Here's a soundbite from Scott Turner. Then you explain to us what you saw there. Go ahead and roll this.
Yeah.
We've been finding savings, $260 million in contract savings, and most recently, $1.9 billion in misplaced funds.
Hold on a second. $1.9 billion.
Yes, sir.
That went someplace it wasn't supposed to go, or was being held someplace?
Yes, sir. It was held, so it accrued over several years, almost $2 billion. That was actually supposed to be for administrative supportive services to carry out the programs at HUD. But it was not used, it was misplaced. And so what should happen, that we should de-obligate those funds, but the Biden administration just let them accrue.
Okay, so there's two stories here, basically. What can you cut out of housing and urban development? And what are you going to do about a building that was falling apart all around you?
I mean, it's truly amazing. This is Housing and Urban Development's agency headquarters in D.C., and it literally is deteriorating. They have millions and millions, about $562 million worth of projects that they have yet to do. The secretary is looking at all of this and saying, we're going to get out of this building somehow, some way. GSA, the Government Services Agency, is working on consolidating buildings in D.C. This one has been a problem since it opened in 1968. So it's just kind of an egregious example of how much money has been poured into this. Now, the DOGE stuff, you know, we hear more and more about what they're funding. That's $2 billion that was misappropriated and they put back into the general fund. You know, that stuff starts adding up.
Yeah, that building was terrible when I lived back in 1995. When I first moved to D.C., it was terrible.
Yeah.
So
Still is.
Great to have you all around D.C. and showing us the insides of these places. We appreciate it.
See you tonight.
Thanks for being here.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.